Hi, this is Sunday, the 10th of January 2021. This is the Democratic Alliance Labour Report. Welcome back to the Labour Report. We've had a break for a few weeks. It's been a pleasant break. Unfortunately, I also did get COVID, but I'm much stronger and better now. And I hope everyone is recovering who got the COVID. And I trust everyone is now well and getting back to work. For those who have retained their jobs, well done. I'm pleased that you have retained your job. We're getting enormous reports all the time of people being retrenched, dismissed, businesses closed down, liquidated. It's become an avalanche, and it's unfortunate and it's very sad that we're experiencing it. But those who are back to work, welcome back to work. The government has at last admitted that the lockdown has created havoc with the workforce. Not so much the COVID, but the lockdown. And at least they have now acknowledged this, and they're hoping to be able to get the economy to recover. They don't seem to be able to organise anything. We still have UIF problems with the TERS and the UIF itself. That's still a problem. People are still complaining about compensation fund. We have enormous CCMA problems that we'll discuss today. And obviously we need to discuss the vaccine with regard to those returning to work. I'm Michael Bagram. I'm the Democratic Alliance Labour spokesperson. And strange as I sit here now on the 10th of January, our government still hasn't got it together to be able to start rolling out the vaccine. They forgot to pay the first amount for the vaccine. It looks like we missed the second payment. It also looks like they're trying to stop civil society bringing in their own vaccines. There seems to be some sort of weirdness with government. If anything, one would expect they would have brought in the vaccine by now, like the rest of the world has done, to at least protect our people. But no, our government has failed on that very point as well. Yes, we were able to pay SAA, and yes, we are still bailing out parastatals with billions of rands, but we couldn't afford even a minute proportion of that for the vaccine. I must tell you that we've got to praise our very brave police and our brave police minister. They've gone out there to the front line and they've arrested a few surfers. That's interesting. There's still lots of murder, rape and mayhem across the country, but the brave Minister Cele was able to arrest a surfer over last weekend. Well done to him. Just to go back to where we were, the UIF, I'm still getting in complaints on a daily basis with regard to the UIF. The replies I'm getting are sparse and few between. It's very sad. There's still people from TERS, from the TERS days that closed off in mid-October who still haven't been paid. I've even found a few people now who still haven't been paid from April 2020. We're now 10 months down the line, and I mean, it's ridiculous. I don't believe that the Department of Employment and Labour is able to organise anything at all. So the UIF is still a problem. I'm waiting in for the few remnants of reports of the TERS. I'd like to have a look at it. We're still waiting for certain reports from NEDLAC, which we haven't got, but it'll be interesting to see. There are still, Commissioner and his management team are still on suspension, on full pay, living the life of Riley. So let's wait and see what happens with the UIF. I won't let up. I'm going to carry on writing to the Commissioner Bronkhorst, come this Monday. So I will be doing that tomorrow. Compensation fund, people who are claiming are not getting paid, they're not getting acknowledged. I've still had some people come to me many years later who have not been actually properly sorted out. So the compensation fund is also still a mess. The CCMA, now you will recall in December we reported that the CCMA part-time commissioners, the one that run most of the arbitrations, were going to be put off for December and January. There was no money for them from the CCMA to pay them. That came to pass. We've had almost a complete standstill at the CCMA with regard to arbitrations. As you know, the part-time commissioners make up about 60% of all the commissioners in the country, and they make up about 80% of our arbitrations. That's come to a complete standstill. We've had very little done during December and January. I suspect that we're going to have very little done during February and March as well, and I suspect that 2021 is going to be absolute chaos. I did take an occasion to drive past the offices of the CCMA in Cape Town. Long queues outside, nothing happening, people very frustrated. I even went outside, drove past the Thomas Boydell building in town, for the Department of Labour, for the UIF and for other claims. Again, absolute chaos, no social distancing. Yes, there were some masks, but no social distancing. This is our Department of Employment and Labour. We really don't care what happened to the public. As you know, the CCMA had said, no, you must go online. And when asked, well, what do you do when you can't go online? They said, well, there's nothing we can do to help you. So they basically have thumbed a nose at the workforce of South Africa. Why the trade unions haven't reacted, I'm not sure. I'm not sure why the trade unions haven't started shouting from the treetops, saying this is ridiculous. You've dropped our people. You've not paid them their TERS. You've not paid them the UIF. You're not paying them workmen's compensation. Now they can't even lodge a claim at the CCMA. It's havoc. With our one body that worked, the only one body that worked under the Department of Employment and Labour, the Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration, is now not working. I mean, it's a truism to say Labour is not working. But, however, where we stand at the moment is we are hoping that the department gets its act together, finds some money to employ some commissioners so that labour justice can be dispensed. We've got no labour justice at the moment in this country. We've got some very fancy laws, but no one implementing it. And you can see what's going on in terms of employers. Many employers don't seem to worry too much about it, specifically because it's the employees that need that CCMA to be able to enhance the enforcement of the justice of labour. So we've got a real problem. The real issue that I want to end off with today is the vaccine. As the vaccine starts arriving in South Africa, and don't hold your breath, even our president couldn't tell us when it's actually coming. They got some vague dates, they got some vague ideas as to when. They're also trying to stop civil society bringing in their own vaccine, and in fact they've even threatened to interdict them and to stop civil society bringing its own vaccine. But once the vaccine comes in, can an employer insist that you have a vaccination before you come back to work? And my research is telling me that no, they can't. As the law currently stands, if a person does not want to have a vaccination, you can't force them to have one. We have rights in terms of the Labour Relations Act, the Constitution, and all the other civil rights that go with it. You can't force a person to have a vaccination. Obviously, if a person does evidence some sort of cough or sneeze or some sort of problem at work, you can insist that they go and get tested. If they are obviously positive, then they must take the time off. So thank you for listening to me. It's Michael Bagram, Democratic Alliance Labour spokesperson, Sunday the 10th of January 2021.